I started watching The Revenant today. Leonardo DiCaprio's award-winning performance or whatever. I don't know why it's award-winning because, well, it probably gets better. But so I watched the first half hour of it or so. It's a 2.5 hour movie. But I gave it a little bit of time and I just didn't keep my attention, and it was starting to gross me out, to be honest, which is really is weird because I like a lot of vampires and zombies and stuff. But so this is grossing me out. It's weird. It was set in, I would guess, the 1700s or something, when there were fur traders and Indians and French. There were, there's that hate triangle thing going on, and starts out with a war between, I don't know, the Indians, Pawnee, maybe, I don't know. This Native American tribe was killing all these Americans, and they were shooting arrows, and the Americans, they were fur traders. They had all these furs, and they had them all bundled up, and they had their rifles, and they're shooting. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio's character he's the guide for the Americans, I think, and he has a son who's his mother was Native American, so half Indian boy who dies in the first 20 minutes, which is so what. Okay, all that I saw, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, which I'll have to call him that because I don't know what his character's name was. I couldn't follow dialogue. It's one of those movies where I don't get roped in enough to even, I maybe pay attention to the dialogue. Maybe I couldn't understand it because they had to use subtitles because they were speaking in Indian, native language, and French. So different guys, and the Americans were talking. But so the first thing, when the native tribe comes in, shoots all the arrows, they end up killing 32 of the Americans. The Americans make it onto this boat, and Leonardo DiCaprio's on it, and he's all well and good, and they go down river a couple miles or whatever, and they get off the boat and decide to leave the boat and to go to walk to fort something. I don't know. They're gonna walk to a fort. I wasn't really. I can't wrap my mind around that because it's just like whatever. But so it shows they're walking, and then one morning, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, he's out. I guess he's going to hunt. They don't really explain why. He's just standing there by himself with a rifle, and they keep going, and it's foggy, and he's like he's tracking something. It's really stupid. I think it's stupid because they're trying to build drama in him, and he turns, and a bear comes running out of the woods, jumping him. It was Mama Bear. I know that because I saw the cubs later. But so the bear tackles him, starts beating him around the face and flipping over and hitting his back and grabbing his leg and helping around with his teeth, and so he's getting torn up. And he lays there. I think he was playing dead because they say you always play dead, whatever. And the bear starts walking away. I don't know why. He climbs over and gets his rifle and turns around, and he's watching the bear. Instead of just waiting and letting the bear walk away, he's watching the bear. The bear notices he's moving, so he comes back. He pulls the trigger. I don't think he actually hits the bear, because it should have been. It looked like it should have been like a headshot. But the bear gets him, beats him up some more, and flips around, flashes his throat, and chews a hole in his back, and throws him down. Puts the face in the ground. walks away. Thumping away. And then Leo goes and pulls his knife out. He rolls over on his back and pulls his knife. And the bear comes at him again. So he starts stabbing the bear in the head. I'm like, this would have been over. Like the first, I don't know, it's just stabbing the bear in the face. They're rolling around and he rolls down a hill. And the bear on top of him. But he's dead. The bear's dead. And Leo's breathing. And then the guys come running up. Oh no, I heard the shot. You know, I'm like, how come all these American buddies, where were they for the last 7.5 minutes during this bear fight? I don't understand. Because they shouldn't have been that far apart from each other. You know, they're off in the woods. And he can't talk because he's lost so much blood. He's like, so they patch him up, and one of the guys says, let's put him out of his misery and leave. And they said no, and the leader says, okay, there's a bounty of $200 for 3 guys who stay here and watch over him while we go get help or whatever. So who ends up staying behind? Leo's son, this other kid, this young guy, and a guy that really didn't like him, which is really, he's very outspoken and says, this is stupid, and he uses a lot of other expletives. And he's like, but I get $200 for staying with her. So he decides to stay. And one morning, he ties up Leo, and he's going to suffocate him, make it look like he just died in his sleep or something, like he didn't tap out. He says, look, I'll make it look like you didn't just let yourself die or whatever, you know. He's like, just blink. And it's supposed to be real dramatic. I could tell it's supposed to be dramatic, but it wasn't doing it for me. But I was watching because I was waiting for something to happen. So Leo just eventually closes his eyes. It's not a blink, but to my saying, he just closes his eyes. So the guy sticks a rag in his mouth and holds him down. Gets Leo. I guess that's good acting. But and then Hawk, the son, comes up and knocks him down, and he goes, "Get off my dad," or whatever. And then the bad guy, Fitzgerald, I think it's his name, Fitz something, comes up and starts stabbing him in the gut. So he dies, and he drags him away. And the young guy that was with him also, he's off hunting, or I don't know what he's doing, find some water or something. He's doing something, and he comes back up and he goes, "Where's Hawk?" He goes, "I don't know, I thought he's with you. He must have walked off." And he's like, "Okay, let's go." And I didn't. And they're like, we can't move Leo because he's on this stretcher. So Fitz grabs his leg and starts dragging him. And that's when I stopped watching, because it's like a man with the back torn up the way it was, getting dragged on the ground. That's gotta hurt like a mug. I was like, it grossed me out. Plus, there was no point. To me, there was no point in enduring that much pain, because and there's going to be like some happy ending. It's going to be Leo's going to win because he goes off and he wins the Academy Award or something. Something happened last year. I don't know what it was, but I was like, well, I'm glad not to spend a lot of time on that movie.